¿Qué vamos a hacer?
Un globado.
Un globo. Ok. ¿Y quiere la pastilla?
No.
¿No? Ok, so borrado atrás y al lado.
Oh, sí, perdón, dame la pastilla fina.
Oh, ok, ok.
What's going on, YouTube? You guys heard the consultation. I had to break out my Spanish. It wasn't too good looking, but it got the job done, and he was able to communicate what he was looking for in his haircut today. It's not gonna be a extravagant transformation, but it is a haircut that is asked for. It's a simple cut, a light taper pretty much, because we're gonna keep his sideburns to a point. And so we started this with the bald line, blade open, and now we're starting to fade this out. My next step is my number one guard open, and then my half guard. All right, and my next step is my 1.5 guard. It's all the way open, and we're closing it as we speak. You guys saw I pulled that lever up, and now it's closed. Alright, so sometimes depending on the hair texture, you still gotta, like, once you use the 1.5 guard, it doesn't completely fade it out. So you drop down to that 1 guard open again, and then use the corners to go ahead and clean up the rest of that taper. Alright, so we completed one side. Let's go ahead and start in the back here. As you guys can see though too, this is an older video I completely forgot about, and it happens when you're on the daily grind. You forget about some of the stuff that you've recorded, because in one day I might do 4 or 5 tutorials that I record. So I just don't have them edited all in one day, right? It takes time to get those edited. So this was one that I forgot, and so I'm using my phone to record. This is back in the days when I was using my phone. As you guys can see, we're using the same steps here in the back. Now I use my brush to kind of keep his curls out of the way. I don't necessarily want to cut his curls off just yet. I like to do the taper first and then see how it kind of goes into the curls, and see if we need to do anything to kind of allow it to the actual taper to transition into the curls better. But this is why I push the curls up with my brush as I am blending. All right, and then I'm using my number 2 guard here. Oh, yeah, that's my number 2. And then right underneath that, we'll use that 1.5 guard. And like we said earlier when we were doing the right side of his taper, we're gonna have to drop down to that 1 guard open and close it little by little just to complete this blend. So here we go. You guys see the tape is coming together pretty nicely. Man, and I feel bad because I forget the conversation that we had, but I believe he drove down from Jacksonville. Was it Jacksonville? No. Man, I can't remember. But I know that he recently came to the States, and he's a barber. He's cutting hair in the shop. Yeah, he's hungry. He's a student. He's constantly looking for tutorials in Spanish. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, I know like the David Fallas in the world, and I definitely recommended him to check out David Falla. If you guys know any other YouTube barbers that give good tutorials in Spanish, put it in the comment section below, man. That way, you know, my model here, who's a hungry barber, can look in the comment section and see some recommendations. Let's use our community to help one another, right? So on this side, we're doing the same steps. I will say, as I'm doing this taper, I am checking out his hairline, because I like to play chess when I'm cutting hair and think about, you know, what I'm doing today. How does it affect what right now? How does it affect what I'm gonna do later in later steps? And so I know that his hairline is a little, not that he's not balding or receding. He just has low density of hair, especially around his hairline. So he has a full hairline. We just have to be careful that we don't cut it too low, and you know, and then it just looks too light to get a sharp lineup. So I stayed at about a number 3 around this area, and a 1.5 guard around his actual front line. And this is just me keeping in mind what it's going to look like once I line it up. So we're going to start this line up here in the middle. I'm trying to keep it as natural as I can while still giving him a nice sharp line. I'm not worried about it being super sharp right now, because I know that my razor is going to get it to the next level. I'm focused on shape and symmetry.
Tito, let's get it.
So I like to keep the right side of the ice picks parallel to his jawline, to the side of his jawline, and then I'll bring it in a little bit, and on both sides. But I feel like if I create like a triangular shape right away, you might make it look too cosmetic. So I wanted the ice picks to kind of flow in, like just work with his face shape. And so I'll go straight down first with that right side of his ice pick, and then start to bring everything into a point little by little, trying to keep everything looking cosmetic, not as cosmetic. Hopefully I made sense of that a little bit. It's hard to explain. So like I said, I started with the back side of the ice picks, and then I started to make that point at the bottom. And this again allows me to not overdo the ice picks to where, because I've seen some ice picks that end up, you know, pointing towards somebody's lip as opposed to going straight down. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but that's why I do it the way that I do it. All right, and that was me just kind of counting circles there on my wise part comb to make sure that his vertical bar is the same length on both sides. This side we had to be a little bit more cosmetic because his vertical bar here on this side is naturally longer, right? Goes down further, and you don't want to keep that side natural and then, you know, line up the other side, because then it's gonna look, his whole hairline will be thrown off. Where right here I feel like it's looking real symmetrical. I don't know what happened there. Must have hit that zoom. All right, and now this is my favorite part. We're gonna put the razor on it and get it as sharp as we can. Now, with most of my clients, I probably would have pushed a little bit of an enhancement on him, but I honestly wanted to just show you guys a simple, clean haircut that is very common in the barbershop. That's really a money maker, because this haircut obviously doesn't take as long as a fade, but it's the same price as a regular haircut. But especially I feel like in Tampa, where there's a lot of Latinos and Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, this haircut is a very common one, and it's a fulfilling one when it's done right. So I wanted to just leave it like, you know, this is barbershop, real barbershop stuff, right? And I think when you look at the cut, when you look at it with the half cup full, you appreciate how simple and clean it is. With eyebrows that are like kind of thick or have hair that's kind of growing upwards and downwards, not necessarily to the side, I like to clean it up with the trimmers first, and then I'll clean it up with the razor. All right, and because the right side of his eyebrow here was a lot thicker, we went ahead and trimmed it down to a 1.5 guard just to make the eyebrows look fuller all the way around. Because as you get to like the points of the eyebrows, they always start to get a little bit lighter. So I think that's super important. So guys, this is the before. Now check out the after. Hopefully you guys appreciate haircut tutorials like this. They aren't Instagram ready cuts, but they are real barbershop cuts that we get on the daily. So if you do appreciate these, let me know in the comment below so I know I'm doing something right. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, man. We're dropping video almost daily. And yeah, hit the like button, guys. Love y'all. See you on the next video.